to promote the growth of Tigres in English through analysis, discussions, interviews, and more. Welcome to the Lautimes podcast. All right. Welcome, everybody, to a very special edition of the Lautimes podcast, the only podcast in the world talking about Los Tigres in English. This is a pre-recorded episode, not a live stream, because we have a very special guest joining us tonight. I'll get to him in just a second, but I'm very happy to be joined on this Tuesday evening by two of the usual members of the crew. You know him, you love him as Tigres_English, Mr. Lou Pop himself, down in Austin, and of course, my fellow homie up here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Edgar, aka Double O Nation. These two guys are here with me. How are we tonight?
Doing great, Dennis.
Let's bring in our guest. We did not expect to for a little inside baseball here, listener. We're recording on our usual live stream night, and we're recording this before our live stream. So this is a 2-episode night for us. And usually when we try to bring guests in, scheduling happens and things usually take a little bit of time. But thankfully, our guest here tonight was able to join us very quickly after we made some contact with him. We ran across one of his videos over the weekend or over the last couple days and made some magic happen to get him on here tonight. So we're really excited to be joined by our friend Sam Plummer, who's actually in Mexico, residing in Mexico right now. So this is Sam right here. How are you, my friend?
Guys, yeah, doing really well. Yeah, like I say, thank you for having me on the pod. I'm excited.
Yes, thank you for joining us, my friend. Tell us who you are. I think for a lot of our listener base, they may be wondering, well, who is this guy? How do we get connected with him? Just tell us in a nutshell who Sam Plummer is.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, my name is Sam Plummer. I'm from the UK. And I run a YouTube channel called Sam's Concourse Corner, looking at really a lot of Mexican football, a lot of Latin American football. And yeah, the video you're talking about is when I went to Tigres 2 weeks ago to watch them play against San Luis. I'm currently on a mission to go to every Liga MX stadium. So far, I've been to 6 stadiums. So yeah, I'm very happy with the response in that video. And yeah, very nice to see you guys reach out. And a lot of Tigres fans have seen that video, and I'm very happy with the reaction so far.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I didn't realize we were both at the same game, which is great. I was also at that game.
You were there too?
Yes, I was. I was sitting close to where the Libres and Locos were, so kind of right next to that. So you caught a good game. That was a good game to go to with all the goals, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I was a bit. Well, actually, very good game. My plan was to go last month when they played Necaxa. That was the plan because I was going to watch them and then watch Los Rayados at the same time. But scheduling things happened and it didn't really work out. But we still managed to get out there this time. And as you say, a lot of goals. And Tigres went top of the league for a brief moment as well. So it was a good atmosphere for sure.
Absolutely. I got one more question here, and then I'm gonna step away and let Lou be the master of ceremonies here for pretty much the rest of the episode. Tell us how you tell us one, where you're from, and two, how did you end up in Mexico? Yeah,
it's a funny story. So I'm from a small city in the UK called Norwich.
Okay.
Unless you really follow English football, a lot of people don't really know Norwich unless, again, you know the football team. So they're playing in the championship, the second division at the moment. But how I moved to Mexico. So a few years ago, I was traveling around Europe and basically just having fun. And I met a lot of people from Mexico. And they said, like, what are you going to do after you travel? And I said, I'm not too sure. And then they said, you should check out Mexico. And it was somewhere that always interested me. And at the time, I knew nothing about Mexican football, really, maybe other than, a handful of teams. And then, I was fortunate to come out here. I lived with a Mexican family. My Spanish is pretty good. I think it's not so bad. My girlfriend is from Puebla. So yeah, she'd kill me if I leave now. There's no turning back now.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're tied down at this point. You got to stay loyal to the bit at this point. If it involves a
Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah,
I think you got no choice, my friend. Oh, that's great. Okay, Lou,
absolutely. Yeah.
why don't you take over this show for the rest of the
So
episode?
what projects are you working on, Sam? What are you up to in Mexico? Besides your YouTube channel, what else do you do?
So I do a lot of football writing. I write for a football website called Viva Liga MX. For a long time, I was pretty much the only person writing on there, but now we have a team of 4 people covering a lot on there. My actual main profession at the moment is teaching English. So yeah, a lot of work on my plate at the moment, but somehow making it all work.
That is awesome, man. I noticed that you've been to several stadiums in Mexico and even some in other countries like Colombia. I think you were at the
Uh-huh.
Millonarios game. So how many stadiums overall have you
No,
visited in Latin America?
no, I wasn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go to Millonarios. I went to watch both teams in Medellin. I watched the Medellin derby between Independiente and Nacional. But yeah, across Latin America, I've been to. So in Mexico, I've been now to 6 stadiums, and then I've just been to the 1 stadium in Colombia. But my next big mission, hopefully soon, I'm not sure, but it's got to be to go to Argentina. I think it's everyone's dream at some point to go and experience that atmosphere. And yeah, at some point soon, that's the next plan.
You have a team in mind, La Boca, River, Racing.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
That is awesome, man. So how was your experience? I noticed you did like a tier list and you put Tigres at the mid position, which I was disappointed in.
No,
Did visiting Tigres at El Volcan change your mind at all? Have we moved up on your ranking at all?
yeah, I got to clear this up because I was actually talking to my girlfriend before coming on here, and I said, "Oh, I wonder if they're going to mention this." Uh, okay, yeah, I do need to clear it up. So when I made that tier list, it was earlier this year, and the only teams I really knew about were the teams here in Mexico City and Puebla. So my information on the rest of the teams was very much so based on just kind of what I had heard. And with Tigres, to be honest, I didn't really know much. So that's why I put them in mid. Because I didn't have an awful lot of information to go off. But yeah, now that I've been to El Volcan and when I was recording there, recording in the stadium, speaking in English, it gets people's attention. So a lot of people were very kind, giving me their information, their thoughts on Tigres, the match, kind of the club as a whole. And yeah, it was the type of atmosphere I really didn't expect. But yeah, I loved it. So next time, I've said that once I've completed going to all of the stadiums in Mexico, I'll remake that video. And yeah, Tigres will definitely be going up.
That's awesome. Edgar, you got any questions for Sam?
So before you went out to the game, I know you mentioned Angel Correa in your video, but before that, who was the player that caught your attention from Tigres, or one of the players you were familiar with before this season?
Yeah, the main player that really caught my eye was Juan Bruneta, because I think what's really interesting about Tigres is that for a global audience, everyone knows Angel Correa, they know Andre Pierre-Gignac, they're the 2 big names. But as I say, I do a lot of writing for Mexican football, and Juan Bruneta, he's been pivotal, really, I think, for Tigres. And if Tigres have any chance of winning the league this year, they need him to be informed. They obviously need Angel Correa as well, but I think Juan Bruneta is really the key that maybe has been missing over the years for Tigres.
Sam, have you done like a little ranking of the stadiums so far? Do you have like a top 3 best stadiums that you visited here in Mexico? As far as like
Ooh.
atmosphere
Well,
is
it's a little
concerned?
bit difficult because I've only been to 6, so it's very unfortunate for the teams that don't make the top 3. But it's tough. I would say I'll start with number 3. Number 3 has to be the Estadio Corona, Santos Laguna. I would love to put it higher, but it just didn't have enough fans. But I was sat right next to the ultras, and the atmosphere was really, really good from them, but there just wasn't a big turnout. And at that point, they weren't going to qualify for the playoffs. So I understand it, but I spoke to some people in the stadium, and like people gave me a T-shirt of the club after I told them what I was doing and my plans. So yeah, number 3 definitely Estadio Corona. Number 2, I'll probably put El Volcan, only because number 1 it has to be El Volcan, because fantastic stadium, really, really good. It's funny because the reaction from the videos I've put out is that a lot of people joke and make comments about the stadium being quite old, but actually I think there's a beauty in the stadium. I really like that type of stadium, and honestly, I think I could have sat there for ages. And I think a lot of people don't realize is the view outside the stadium, like with the mountains and everything like that. It's absolutely spectacular. I loved it. And then number 1 has to be the Azteca. The Azteca was incredible. Like, I think when you think about dream stadiums to visit in the world, it has to be the Azteca. I've been there for many games, for Cruz Azul, Club America, for La Selección as well against Honduras. And the atmosphere is incredible every single time. It's one of those stadiums you go to and you just can't quite believe you're there. When I first came to Mexico, my very first day, within the first 4 hours of arriving in Mexico, I went straight to the Azteca, and just absolutely blown away. My dad is a big football fan, and instantly I'm sending my dad pictures to be like, I can't believe I'm here. So yeah, the only reason I'm not putting El Volcan higher is because the Azteca is it's incredible.
Yeah, there's a certain mystique to that stadium. It's really impressive when you go in there. I've had a chance to go, and it is really impressive stadium. I'm surprised you didn't put Seúl higher, being that you're a Pumas fan.
Yeah, it's difficult. But the reason why is because in all of the stadiums that I've mentioned in those top 3, I've had a genuine connection with fans. Whereas Pumas, like you say, I'm a Pumas follower. And I always love going there. I always love watching Pumas. Unfortunately, times are really bad right now. But I've just never really had that connection. I think something that makes a stadium really special is building that connection with fans. And I was able to do that at Santos Laguna. I was able to do that at Tigres. And I was able to do it at the Azteca. So, the Estadio Olímpico is a place that will always be important for me. But, I'm still waiting for that big connection with some of the fans.
We faced them in the final Apertura 2015, and that place was buzzing. It was incredible. Yeah. I've been to that stadium, but unfortunately not for that 2015 final. That would have been an epic game to go to. And they do have amazing fans. With Santos, sadly, that fan base used to be a lot better. They used to fill up that stadium, but it's been so many years of bad management that I think it's driven a lot of the fans away, sadly. But it was, one of the...
Ask Raul Jimenez that after his comments the other night after the national team game. He certainly felt a way about Torreon fans.
Yeah, he wasn't. Was he?
What team, Sam? What team do you support in the Premier League?
It's difficult in the Premier League. I don't really follow a team. The actual team I genuinely support is Ajax Amsterdam. The reason being, when I was young, I always had a problem, a disconnect with English football. And so I don't know how it came about, really. My mum gifted me like an Ajax jacket when I was 14, and I didn't know anything about the club. And then ever since then, really, for the last 13 years, I've been an Ajax fan. But in England, the only team I really follow is Norwich. We're in the Championship, like I said, at the moment. My dad's a big Liverpool fan, so I have kind of a soft spot for Liverpool. But I don't really follow any of the big teams. I only follow Norwich. But it's miserable times for Pumas, for Ajax, and for Norwich, because Norwich are in the relegation zone. Ajax are bottom of the Champions League table, and Pumas, well, they probably won't make it to the playoffs.
Yep. Well, Dennis and I are both Liverpool supporters, so right now we're...
Yeah, tell your dad he's got a good opinion in my book now. Tell your dad he's a nice man.
Yeah, I'll pass it on to him.
Unfortunately, it's been a frustrating season, but
we don't have
life.
to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that right now.
Sam, what's next
I
for
think I
you?
would say, yeah.
Go ahead, Sam.
What's
Sorry to
next for
interrupt.
me? No. What's next for me? I'm still continuing to try and visit all of the stadiums here in Mexico. I've got some ideas, but nothing completely confirmed yet. It's a matter of just planning. Outside of going to stadiums, I make a lot of content on Mexican football. So it's a lot of making videos about kind of what's happening at the moment, and also hopefully trying to get to some more stadiums.
For a little while there, we had, this is probably about four years ago, maybe, when Twitter was at its peak before it started its downhill demise. But for a long time, we had a really strong English community on Twitter for Liga MX. A lot of teams were involved. Chivas had Chivas del Norte account. America still
Yeah.
has their Eagle Eye podcast. Pumas even had a little English account. The Tigres English community is really strong. We have several members who all are active on Twitter. But for a while there, a few years back, we were really strong. Did you ever get involved with any of the Liga MX English community accounts?
Not really. I mean, I only really started following Mexican football when I first came to Mexico, so like 2 years ago. And for the first year of that, it was very much so me just kind of learning about the league on my own. I didn't really put much information out. It was only probably about a year, maybe 18 months ago, that I started really trying to, share my own content, as a British person in Mexico. So no, not really. I didn't really connect with any sort of English speaking communities.
Tigres has a really strong community in Texas. I don't know how familiar you are with the Tigres community, but Tigres, for example, in the Houston area, in San Antonio, here in Austin where I am, in Dallas where Edgar and Dennis are from, a lot of fans.
Yeah.
So we've been able to kind of keep in touch. We all support each other, and we have this podcast that we run, and so we try to stay active on Twitter. Hopefully one day, Sam, you can join us when we face Pumas, have you on to talk about Pumas and that. Would you be interested?
Yeah, of course. I was going to ask you guys. So how come there's a big Tigres following in Texas? Is it because it's so close to kind of Monterrey, I guess, or is there another reason to it?
Yeah, it's mainly because of the proximity. There's been a lot of people from the state of Nuevo León that have moved to the big Texas cities like Houston, to the Rio Grande Valley, which is like McAllen, Texas, which is right on the border, to Dallas, to San Antonio, Houston. So, like, for example, there's areas in Houston, Pasadena, Texas, for example, which is a suburb of Houston, that is filled with people from Nuevo León. And like, you can go sometimes have watch parties, and all the Tigres fans will show up. So there's a big community, and because of it, Tigres, for example, will come in for friendlies. They'll come to Texas. They'll come to San Antonio. They'll come to Houston, Austin, and play games, and we're able to catch the team.
Yeah.
So there's a big connection there.
Yeah.
Too bad they never come to Dallas.
That stick, but
yeah, they never come to Dallas, as Edgar knows. They hate us.
We'll get a game maybe once every 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
Really?
This year,
Yeah,
Dallas,
for example, for some reason is the redheaded stepchild of Texas, unfortunately. No offense to redheaded folks.
No, but the logistics here is a little bit more tricky. The MLS stadium for FC Dallas is actually in Frisco, so it's kind of outside of like the metropolitan area for us. And there's not really like another good venue in the area right now. The Cowboys stadium is just way too massive to have a game there. We wouldn't fill that stadium up.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Well, Sam, we were super happy that you came to chat about your projects, about what you're doing within the community, and thanks for giving us this time. Do you want to take a little time out to maybe plug in your social media and your channels for our audience?
Yeah, Yeah, of course. Thank you. So my YouTube is Sam's Concourse Corner. Make sure you go check it out. I try to get out content as much as possible. TikTok is the same handles, say Sam's Concourse Corner. Instagram is Sam's. I need to check Sam's Football HQ. So it's a little bit different, but I very much post very similar content on there. So yeah, they're the main three ones that I have, and also I use Twitter as well. And I think it's the same name as well. I might have to check the Twitter handle. But yeah, make sure you follow me on all the channels, and I look forward to meeting as many Liga MX fans as possible.
Hey, I've got one more question before we go. You got to tell us about stadium food. What's been your best stadium food item that you've gotten out of all the stadiums you visited down in Mexico?
Ooh. I'll be honest, the very first game, so I said that I went to the Azteca within 4 hours of sort of touching down in Mexico. And it's a terrible, well, it's a funny but terrible story. When I went to the game, I just got a hot dog from one of the guys walking by, and I thought everything was fine. And a few hours later, you know how the story goes, I was out in a few bars people and instantly was sick. The next day it was well and truly written off. To be honest, ever since then, it's kind of put me off buying food in the stadium. Usually outside the stadium, I'll buy something, maybe some tacos or like a pambazo or something like that. Usually, maybe some birria. But in the stadium, at the moment, I'm still haunted by that experience.
Well, let me give you a pro tip. Next time you go back to El Volcan, you gotta give the chicharrones Mendez a chance. Yes, they are quite good. With the salsa, with the lime juice, it'll change your life. I promise you.
Okay, I'll take your word and I'll try it next time I go.
It's proper footy scran as the Twitter account says all the time.
Okay.
So
excellent. Okay, I'll try it out when I next go.
One more pro tip for your next visit to Monterrey, because I assume the Monterrey Stadium's on your bucket list. If you can, I would recommend going to a Clásico Regio game.
Okay, I mean, ideally, I'll go to a game that has a good atmosphere. Like when I said I was going to go to watch Tigres against Necaxa, I think the day after Monterrey were playing Pumas. So for me, it was pretty good. Yeah, when I do actually get out there, it needs to be a good game for sure.
Awesome, Sam. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the visit, and hopefully we get to talk to you down the road once you visit a few more stadiums. I recommend the León Stadium. That'd be kind of cool to go see. Maybe catch one of those games. They have a good fan base as well.
Yeah, it's a plan. It's a plan, and eventually I've heard that they've got a good fan base. So yeah, I'll get out there. It'll probably be it'll have to be in 2025 now. Now that they're not in the playoffs, but yeah, some point soon I'll go to León.
Real quick, are you planning to attend a World Cup match?
That's the aim. One of the kind of series I'm working on my channel is the process of getting a ticket, which, as you guys probably know, it's difficult.
Yes,
it's very much the plan to go, and I'm kind of manifesting that I will go. It's just waiting for when I'll get that lucky break.
Cool. Any other last questions?
No, take us away, Dennis.
All right, Lou, thank you for holding it down while I was driving to dinner, basically. I very much appreciate it. Sam, thank you for joining us, man. We really enjoyed this conversation, and we're looking forward to absolutely. We're looking forward to the next time you can join us. I think we'll hit you up before the next Tigres versus Pumas match, so we can get some Pumas insight from you. I think that'd be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to it, guys. Thank you for having me, and it was great to meet you all.
Yes, thank you so much again. Yeah. Thank you to everybody watching or listening. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe and tune in wherever you are. We've got a lot of stuff coming up with Liguilla, so stay tuned and arriba la U. Peace out.
Peace.